Today is one of those days where you get crazy news in both extremes. We have some great news. We have some good news, but it's crazy. I'm telling you, things are starting to heat up a lot. We have some XRP news. We have some Bitcoin news. What is going on? Why does this stuff happen all at the same time? I don't know. All right. I just read the news. I don't make up the news. Let's begin here. We have some great news here. This article is titled Ripple's partner SBI collaborates with South Korea's Kyobo. We have more expansion. We have more collaboration, extension. The global reach is increasing. Now they're reaching it. Listen, they're reaching into the insurance industry, okay? But this is not the first time we've seen that. When Algorand went into Italy and they got a whole bunch of banks there to agree to use Algorand systems. We have to get an update on that, by the way. Anybody hear anything about that? Last I heard was a couple months back, they were still advancing that. But anyway, the point is they were working with insurance companies as well as banks. That's important. We're seeing the entirety of these systems coming together under the control or the platforms of the new financial system. It just is what it is until information changes. That's just a fact. So now we have this article here and it begins as such. Ripple partner SBI Group and South Korea's Kyobo Life Insurance Group are deepening their collaboration in digital finance. The two companies announced a new strategic alliance aimed at creating a digital financial ecosystem in Korea. And wait a minute, keep in mind, we read a bevy of articles a while ago saying that XRP is South Korea's favorite cryptocurrency. This is what they claim. All right. It says, with a particular focus on security token offerings. According to SBI Holdings' official statement, the collaboration seeks to expand the business globally. You see how they're always unfolding the global vision, because right now, global reach, a platform with global reach, that's up for the taking. The West no longer has global reach. They need something to connect everything. But if you are able to provide the connector, theoretically speaking, of course, if you're able to provide the connector for I won't say the entirety of the globe, but obviously that would be the goal. If you could take the entirety, you would, because that's big money. But you want to take as much as possible. That means big money. That means access to value that never has been accessible before. That's just how it is. So it says the collaboration seeks to expand business globally. An excerpt read, quote, alliance will drive global business expansion as both partners work together to curate unique investment opportunities for clients and develop new technology infrastructure, unquote. Using blockchain technology, SBI Holdings and Kyobo plan to bring innovative experiences to the digital finance system. For instance, they envision introducing a consortium to lead the STO business landscape. They also plan to launch new security tokens representing tangible assets such as equities and fixed income securities in digital assets. So they're trying to do a lot. An STO is a public offering in which tokenized digital securities or security tokens are offered on security token exchanges. SBI Group's collaboration with Kyobo extends beyond STO businesses. As per a Kyobo Life's official statement, they stated, quote, this partnership with SBI is significant in that it aims to provide better products and services to customers in a timely manner by building a wider network in the digital finance sphere. Also, keep in mind, SBI is one of those companies that said they want everything to run on XRP. They believe in XRP. They've been pushing XRP everywhere. They had a recent project they're working on in Japan where they're trying to find ways to increase the capital that people can make with XRP. We have to get an update on that. I'm assuming in a few months, maybe they'll have some update on that. So yeah, they're a huge XRPL, XRP supporter, right? SBI Group and Kyobo have been collaborating since 2022 in various areas, including venture capital and fintech. Since 2017, SBI has been Ripple's partner using the crypto platform's international money transfer system to facilitate cross-border transactions. Okay, so now let's get here to find out what's going on with Bitcoin. We've been saying this was going to happen here on this channel. We knew it was going to happen. I told you it could go down further. I literally just said that. But maybe about a day or two ago, I believe we talked about that in the live stream as well. I just briefly mentioned that, but That's always been my understanding, is that it could go down further. Anyway, this article here is titled Samson Mao reveals what's happening to Bitcoin as it drops towards $57,000. I always find synchronicities very creepy, right? It's in my mind. Like, I was just talking about this and then boom, it goes south. Prominent Bitcoin maximalist remains optimistic. Of course, nothing has changed. This is all a part of what was supposed to happen. As far as, look, the reason that I said what I said is because I could see them tanking the market. You can't have Mt. Gox selling Bitcoin at the same time. You had Germany. Look all of this up if you haven't seen it. I covered it in the videos, but you have Mt. Gox selling a massive amount of Bitcoin at the same time as Germany's government sold a massive amount of Bitcoin. At the same time, the USA government sold a bunch of Bitcoin from the Silk Road. All at the same time. Of course, the price is going to continue to go down. That's why I said it. I'm going off of logical, visible things that are there, data that's there. And now you see this happening. So at some point that will cease. When that ceases, and I'm going to pair something else in there, and those other businesses get in that wanted to position themselves with Bitcoin, then obviously that's a catalyst and there's a possibility for the price to go back up. But until then, while this is happening, no, that price is going to stagnate or go down a little bit. Logical, right? Prominent Bitcoin maximalist remains optimistic about Bitcoin despite price crash. Here's why. Well, I told you why I'm optimistic. I think it's very clear what's going to happen. Samson Mao, Bitcoin advocate and chief executive officer at Bitcoin adoption focused company Jan3, has commented on the current Bitcoin price correction. He has shared his positive take, continuing his recent narrative about diamond hands adding Bitcoin to their long-term holdings. I don't know about all of that, but let's keep going. Now that Bitcoin, I've heard a lot of long-term holders have been selling. That's what I've read in articles. Now that Bitcoin continues its aggressive decline and is closing in on a $57,000 level, Bitcoin maximalist Mao believes that all those who are selling Bitcoin now are just letting cryptocurrency whales buy it. Yes, in a way, yes. In a way, yes. In particular, it's a little bit more complicated than that. You can't oversimplify these things, but let's continue. In particular, Mao believes whales from Bitfinex are buying up all the dips at the moment. Today, the world's flagship cryptocurrency extended its plunge, losing 4.46% and falling from roughly $60,000, I'm rounding it off, to $57,000. I also round that off, where it is changing hands as of this writing. Over the weekend, Mao tweeted that he expects the cryptocurrency market to absorb all the current Bitcoin sales, no matter how much Bitcoin will get dumped by, quote, paper hands, unquote. I expect it to be the companies. I do. I expect it to be the companies stepping in, and then they'll be buying up a massive amount of Bitcoin, drive the price up, which will spark retail to get back in. Then they'll buy some because they see the price going up. This is what happens. Retail likes to buy when it's going up. Results may vary when you do that, but that's what happens. And then you'll have that explosion at some point in the future. Not financial advice, just my humble opinion. It says, overall, since Monday, Bitcoin has crashed 9.52%, declining from $63,640 zone to the price mark it is currently sitting at. All right, so now let's move on here. We have a little bit more Bitcoin news that puts another piece to the puzzle. And I was just talking about this. I've been talking about this for a while. I said this was coming. This article is titled, Mt. Gox begins repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. The defunct crypto exchange announced last month that it will begin repayments in July. The long-term impact of the repayments may be less severe than some anticipate, said Wu X Wu Willie Chuang. Now, wait a minute. Like I said, you can't look at this one tree in front of you or you won't see the forest. There's a multitude of things happening here. There's the Mt. Gox sale that's happening, right? The dump. Then you have, once again, the German government recently sold a massive amount. Are they still selling? We don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen any articles. I've read a ton of articles since then. I haven't seen any updates on it. So are they still selling, or did they sell everything all at once? That's questionable. Then the U.S. government with the Silk Road sales. Was that all done? Is it done? Is it over? Or are they selling little by little? See, that's the thing. Does anyone know that information? I mean, that all affects how the market is moving right now. But let's continue on. It says Mt. Gox was the leading crypto exchange. They missed a little typo here. One of the leading crypto exchanges is what they meant. Handling over 70% of Bitcoin transactions in the early years. Mt. Gox said on Friday that it started making repayments to customers, ending a near 10-year wait. 10 years? Holy smokes. For some users to get their crypto back after a 2014 hack that sent the crypto exchange into bankruptcy. The company was once the world's top crypto exchange, handling over 70% of all Bitcoin transactions in its early years. The hack resulted in the loss of an estimated 740,000 Bitcoin. Whoa. The announcement added selling pressure on Bitcoin and the broader crypto market after Mt. Gox announced last month its intention to start repayments in July. Bitcoin plunged to as low as $53,600, its lowest level in 5 months. The free fall led to over $580 million in bullish bets being liquidated. The world's largest digital asset remained under $55,000 mid-morning in Europe, according to CoinDesk Indices data. It started the week close to $63,000. Quote, Mt. Gox moved 47,228 Bitcoin, signaling the start of their repayment process, which has caused some market fear due to the large potential sell-off. However, it's worth noting that despite these concerns, the long-term impact may be less severe as the market gradually absorbs the selling pressure, unquote, said Willie Chuang, COO of crypto exchange WooX. All right, so there you have it. That's a little bit of what's going on with Bitcoin, with the market. You know, the market follows Bitcoin. One day, maybe that will change, but I think that's when you have mass adoption of the utility coins and they're serving their purpose. It'll be a little bit harder to move them once they start settling a little bit higher. You know, and I do believe that that's going to happen. Like I said, you just look at how gold is propped up right now by the central banks. And then you ask yourself, with these big money companies getting into some of these utility coins like Solana and in the future, XRP, them being utilized, what will their new low be? Because it will be very high. Their new low will be very high. Theoretically speaking, it's not a guarantee. I don't work for these companies. I don't know what they're going to do. It's just my humble opinion, not financial advice. All right. So now this is some crazy news. Now we're going to get into two articles that are wild. I don't know what's going on in this time period. Things are breaking down, and I believe it may be necessary for something new to be born. Something old must go away for something new to thrive. A void must come so the void can be filled by something new. There's always new things coming out of potentiality. You know, and I could go deeper with that, but I don't need to here. But look at this article here. You tell me this is not going to result in massive deposit flight. The banks already have a problem losing customers. This article is from the Wall Street Journal. I'm just going to read the headline. That's all we really need. And it's titled, JP Morgan warns customers, prepare to pay for checking accounts. Really? Head of Chase says bank customers stand to lose out if Washington enacts new rules. The head of America's biggest retail bank has a warning for its 86 million customers. You think they're happy right now? You think they're not looking at alternatives? It says they have a warning for its 86 million customers. Prepare to pay for your bank accounts. Wow. You know, listen. It's so interesting that you have companies recently. I think they saw this coming. Obviously, they probably have their advisors telling them this is going to be coming. Coinbase came out recently, about a week or two ago, in an article that we read here on the channel, saying how they want their Coinbase accounts to become people's main accounts. Now, how realistic that is, I don't know. I don't know how much they're going to push that idea. I haven't seen any advertisements. Have you? But they could make a push. I mean, a lot of these companies that offer alternative accounts to bank accounts where you can keep your capital, you still can get a debit-like card to use. I think that they'll leap on this opportunity as people leave these banks. They don't like a lot of what's going on here. They don't like the whole bail-in idea. They're not going to like to pay for their checking account either. They don't like the fact that you can't get if you have 100K, 300K, you can't get it the same day. They don't like that. A lot of people didn't have that realization. Now they do, because I'm seeing a lot of videos in different places of people going to get their large amount of money and they can't get it the same day and they're shocked. And I'm like, hey, see? So there's a lot of reasons why people have a problem with the banking system as it is today. So alternative account systems, I think, are going to thrive on that. Now, wait a minute. Now, one thing I want to say, and it's not even about, let's say, like accounts like Coinbase, which can provide a similar thing to a bank account, and you can have direct deposit there. And I'm not even going to take into account right now too deeply gold accounts, right? You have a lot of companies that offer gold cards. You can keep your gold on there. I see there's a lot of new ones popping up now that's becoming popular. You hold your value in gold, but they give you like a debit card and you can spend your value off of that debit card. They just remove the value from that gold. They sell it, whatever. But the gold never has to leave a vault. You have that as an alternative. But I think what's going to be the biggest winner, you want me to be completely honest? I think money market funds and non-banking financial institution money market accounts. I have to say it like that because you have some banks that offer money market accounts as well. But I'm not talking about them. I think those money market funds and money market accounts, the ones that offer debit cards and you can spend that value easily, I think they're going to be the biggest winner. Because if you look at deposit flight, where has it been going? A lot of that capital has been coming out of banks and going into money market funds, highly liquid money market funds. That's what all the data says. That's what all the articles are saying. OK, and they're getting delicious yield on that instead of keeping their money inside of these savings accounts where your money goes to just die. They're going to money market funds. What are the money market? What's the percentage on those right now? It's like it's above 5%, isn't it? It's somewhere between a high 4% and I believe a low 5%. And my apologies, folks. I have the percentages from money market funds in my mind. I have CD rates in my mind. U.S. Treasury percentages is all just mixed up in there. But I just know, I know it's still much better than savings accounts. It's not, but I know it's not better than Solana. Solana is like that bar right there for crypto. It's not too high, it's not too low. Solana's like at 7% yield. I believe it's 7%. 7% on Solana, right? But you stake it. All right. So I think money market funds, money market accounts, I think they'll be the biggest winners. And with that, and that money's going to move. It's going to move. They're sitting there for a while. They'll get some good yield. And that money's going to move. And this is why a lot of experts, and I don't blame them, I just know they're wrong. You're like, how do you know that, Mick? Because for a year and a half, they said that money was going to move. The cash pile was going to move into the stock market, but it didn't. It did a year and a half, folks. It didn't happen. That means they were wrong. But I don't blame them because I can see why they might believe, the stock market for a long time. Well, first of all, it's well respected, and that's where everybody typically goes to. But that time is changing. I think that a lot of that's going to come into crypto. They're just waiting. I also believe that the narrative has been successfully pushed that the stock market is in a bubble. I do. And so people are being very, very cautious. Not only that, but because of harsh economic circumstances, I don't think people are taking too much chance with their money. And that's a smart move. That's a smart move. Survival of the fittest. And you have to have some capital to survive. All right. So, yeah, I'm not one of those people that believe that individuals should take too much risk. Not at all. Not at all. So I just wanted to put that out there. But this is crazy. How do they expect to continue to thrive or do well? It's like they're bringing down the banking industry on purpose. Right? I mean, you could disagree. You don't have to agree with me. So now we have this article. You thought that was the only one. That's not the only wild article today. I told you. Check this out. There's something big going on. This article is titled Coinbase Demands Gensler's Private Emails. Uh-oh. Oh, he's in trouble. Sir, you better not delete anything either, sir. They want his private emails. It says an SEC battle over crypto rules. Doesn't mean they're going to get it. But, oh, Nelly, if they get it and anything is in there that looks suspicious or corrupt, he's in trouble. But, this is going to be it's going to get interesting. Coinbase has criticized the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission's effort to block, quote, reasonable discovery, unquote, from Chair Gary Gensler in their ongoing legal battle. Last month, the exchange requested the SEC chairman to produce certain communications, including emails reflecting his views on digital assets from 2017 to the present. You know there's hypocrisy in there. We have video footage of the hypocrisy. The SEC challenged this move, citing concerns over burden and privacy intrusion. The regulator argued that any subpoena should target the commission as an institution, not Gensler personally, the regulator stated. I disagree with that. He's a representative of the commission. He's a part of the commission. He is the commission. So all of those statements and thoughts should be presentable. It says, quote, to the extent it is not, it is an improper intrusion into a public official's private life. I don't see how that is realistic or how that's true. Once again, he made those statements, wrote those emails as the head of the SEC, as a representative of the SEC. So it falls under, being exposed as a part of SEC's official opinion or official verbiage, I would think. It says, based on his decision to serve, given also the utter lack of relevance of the requested documents. No, that's subjective. That's subjective. And obviously it's going to be heavily biased right there. You're the SEC, so you don't want anything. If there was corruption there or hypocrisy, you don't want that out. So that's subjective, and that's, that's heavily biased. But it is extremely relevant coming from the outside perspective, given that it has shown that this individual has made a turn against crypto when he was first pro-crypto and now was against crypto. And there must be some evidence. There must be a cause for that effect. That's what they're searching for. What is the cause? And if the cause is possible corruption, well, then they have a case. It says, not a case, but they have a very, very good spear to use in their case. It says, and the potential chilling effect on public service. The court should quash the subpoena and issue a protective order, unquote. Once again, I disagree with that. I think it's unreasonable. It says, why Coinbase wants Gensler's emails. In response, Coinbase described the SEC's argument as unfounded. I agree with that, noting that its request was pertinent to understanding the chairman's views on digital assets and federal securities laws. Exactly. But what they're going to find, if the videos are any indication of what could be much, much deeper in emails, because you may say much more when you're writing, you're going to find a lot of confusion, and they're going to use it against him. You're going to find a lot of hypocrisy, and they're going to use that against him. Gary Gensler has been his own worst enemy, just being honest. Coinbase also highlighted Gensler's communications with market participants. See that? As crucial for gaining insight into the agency's stance on digital asset regulation. Yeah. Wasn't it said, and I could be getting this a little bit wrong, but wasn't it said that he had multiple sit downs, not only with, no. Let me skip that thought. Who's the guy? He got into legal trouble. He got locked up. There was like, it was the FTX guy. My apologies. I wasn't wrapped up in all of that. And that was not in my sector of crypto when I got in here. But there was a guy, I can't remember his name. He was the head of FTX and he got into trouble. But anyway, he had multiple meetings with Gensler. They never did anything about that FTX situation. Why? You see, that type of thing could be construed, or I guess you could say misconstrued, as possible favoritism and corruption. You had multiple meetings with this company, but you never took action on them, even though you know that they were injurious to the people. Allegedly, this is what they say. See, that's what they're trying to uncover. It says, furthermore, Coinbase referenced the Ripple case precedent. There you go. Good job, Coinbase. Noting that the court confirmed that an agency personnel's internal communications can provide essential insights, even if not publicly disclosed. Quote, as the Ripple court confirmed, a document or communication need not be public to provide insight into the public's objective understanding as to what regulators require of them, unquote. Wow, it's about to get hot. This could get very interesting quickly if they dig into Gensler's private emails. Let's just keep up to date with this. We're going to close out here. We have 2 articles left. Let's see which one we want to close with. We have a Solana article here. And we have a BRICS Nation article, but the BRICS Nation article is crazy. I told you we have some crazy articles today. Let's get to the BRICS Nation article because This is wild if this is true. I need to read about maybe 3-4 more articles like this before I feel safe to say that this is 100% what's going on here. You know, when I read 2 articles, it's like, okay, but I need like 3 or 4 more to really start getting a solid view, and from different writers. You get what I'm saying? Like different information. It's like getting different opinions from doctors. Like, I don't want to go just by what this doctor says. Maybe he's wrong. But let me go to this doctor here and this doctor here. And if they all say something similar, then I know that that's the truth, or that's close to the truth. So this article here is titled, BRICS New Nation to Jail People Who Use the US Dollar. What and why? Why would you do this? It says a new South African nation is following the BRICS de-dollarization mission, planning to jail any people in the country who use the US dollar. But why throw them in jail? That's pretty harsh. This is my humble opinion. It's my humble opinion. But why throw them in jail? Anyway, it says, as the Economic Alliance has continued its efforts to abandon the US dollar, Zambia, is this happening in Zambia? Zambia has become the latest country to ditch the greenback and plans to force its citizens to do the same by law. Once again, this is how they're putting it in the article. I know how article writers do. I mean, but they may make something sound much worse than it is. They could misinterpret something. I need a few more articles. But anyway, it continues. A draft document released by the Bank of Zambia on Saturday revealed that individuals caught using foreign currency for local transactions could face up to 10 years in prison or substantial fines. Zambia is a smaller country in the South African region. This latest, why is that relevant? It says the latest drafted rule is likely targeting the US dollar specifically to garner attention from the BRICS bloc. Are they, I mean, listen, I don't proclaim to know everything or retain all the information that I read. I'm not one of those types of people. Is Zambia right now a part of the BRICS nations? Former Zambian President Thabo Mbeki also appears on board with the new initiative to abandon the US dollar. In recent discussion around the US dollar, he said that China, India, and many African countries and those in Latin America have been questioning the use of the US currency as a trading currency in the world. He added, if 2 countries who did not use the dollar as the currency got into trade agreements, there was no use in using it. Well, the West is going to make the argument of it being the standard, having long time been a standard with for some time, a bit of stability, that will be their argument. But you also, yes, you're correct on your end as well, especially now with the new technologies and the rebalancing in the world. So, we'll keep up to date with this and see what happens. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.